Hi, this is Jeremy Moskowitz, and in a previous video you saw me use PolicyPak Cloud in Cloud editors to do Microsoft real group policy settings. With our create and link a new policy, you saw me use our in Cloud editors here to do admin templates and preferences and security settings. And here are the PolicyPak specific settings. You can see as of this video, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 types of in-cloud editors and more to come. So we're always increasing our depth of coverage. So I can't go into all the ideas here of what you could do in PolicyPak Cloud with our PolicyPak settings. So I want to give you a tip on how to on the best practice on how to do that. Let's pretend for a second. Let's go over to the support section, which is our KB, our knowledge base section. And let's pretend for a moment you wanted to learn about File Associations Manager. Great. Our recommendation is to learn how to do it first with our Getting Started videos, and you'll do that with your on-prem test lab with your fake domain controller and your domain joined machine. Make sure it works the way you want, and then you'll see under File Associations Manager methods, we have another video that sort of says, hey, once you get the gist of how it works, you can then do what you need to do using PolicyPak Cloud. Okay, we have videos like that for just about everything. Let's do another example. Let's pretend you really wanted to get going with least privilege manager. Let's find least privilege manager. Great. Let's understand basics in getting started. Again, our recommendation is to sort of cut out the PolicyPak Cloud middleman, do some small scale tests on with your fake test lab, and then hey, look at that. There's methods where there's the word cloud, and then you can take a look and see some specifics using PolicyPak Cloud with your least privilege manager rules. Because remember, we don't have in-cloud editors for everything. We do have some for browser router and least privilege manager, and well, we got 5, and they're great and they're really easy to use. But there are some tips and tricks for each one that you might need to get to know, and that's why getting to know a little bit on-prem and a little bit of cloud, add that knowledge together, and bang, you're going to be a PolicyPak Cloud expert. So we'll go to least privilege manager here, and then we'll just go ahead and create a new policy. So let's call this enable UAC overcome for Procmon. Okay, and if you click on new policy here, let's go ahead and make a new executable policy for Procmon. Now this is a trick because if you want to do a hash rule, we can't touch that file. So if we go ahead and click next, and we select a reference file here, let's go to C share apps to manage, and we click on demos, and let's take Procmon, and there we go. We've touched it. Now that we've got that guy, we're ready to go. Go ahead and click next, and we can run with elevated privileges, and bang, zoom, you're off to the races. So we've reached out, touched it, and we've done a least privileged thing. Let's go ahead and check to see that it actually worked. Here's our machine. Let's show no Procmon. Does it work right now? Do we overcome a UAC prompt by default? No, we do not. So now let's go ahead and do a ppcloud/sync. Okay, and we can see, all right, there we go. Enable UAC overcome for Procmon. Okay, sometimes this takes around 10 seconds to kick in. So after you do ppcloud sync, count to 10, and then you can rerun Procmon. And did it work? Sure did. Okay, so that's a least privilege in-cloud editor. If we want to do something else like browser router as an in-cloud editor, what does that look like? Well, what we can do is click over here, work from home, create and link a new policy here, browser router. Again, these are some base hits. Again, we go into more details in the section I just described. So if we do browser router test, and we want to say a new policy for browser router for when PolicyPak to Chrome, something like that. And then we can say wildcard star PolicyPak star, and we'll go to Chrome land, and we'll go ahead and click save, and we're done. We'll go ahead and click OK. Go back to our test machine here, and we'll run ppcloud sync. Okay, give this a second to wrap up. Okay, let's make sure we got it. Okay, yep, browser router manager test. I'm just going to open up notepad file that's going to represent like getting a Teams link or something like that. If I go to www.policypak.com and I click on it, it's not going to go to my default browser. No. It's going to go to the routed browser that I selected using PolicyPak browser router, and that's going to be Chrome. Okay, I'm not going to go into every single kind of item type because, like I implied, Once you get the hang of one, you get the hang of everything. But what I do want to point out is that once you have on-prem directives, like let's take, again, browser router is a perfectly fine one, or file associations or anything. If there's not an in-cloud editor, although there is in-cloud editors for browser router, but just to prove a point, if you were to take any kind of complex thing you've already set up in your on-prem test lab, if you were to go to apps and browsers and take browser router, you can see I've kind of got a fairly complicated set of stuff going on here in this collection. Okay, and this collection is ready to go. Got look and feel policy. What is that? Well, you have to learn about it. What's the default browser policy? What is that? How do I block things? Again, we've got all this in the other videos. What you'll do is you'll right click, you'll view as XML in Notepad. You'll take all this stuff here, you'll copy it, and you'll go into PolicyPak Cloud, and you go ahead and upload and link a new XML here, and just in this big old box, bang, paste it, and you can call this PPBR from on-prem 123 or whatever it is, and go ahead and click add. And all these guys are all right there. So if you were to look at this policy now and look at the policy settings, they're all there, and you can also edit the policy if we have an in-cloud editor. So you can see this is exactly what it looks like on-prem. If we don't have an in-cloud editor for things, and there are some things that we'll never have in-cloud editors for, that is why in the other section we talk about in excruciating detail why you need that on-prem test lab, that little fake on-prem test lab, for you to be able to create directives. And sometimes even if we have an in-cloud editor, there's some advanced stuff that you can only do in the on-prem editor, and then take the directive, right-click, view as XML in Notepad for a particular policy, or on a collection, you can view as XML in Notepad, or you can do it at the root level too sometimes. The point is that sometimes you need to do the on-prem test lab first between your machine and your domain controller and your domain join machine. Small scale test. Once you have that ready to go, you can then do tests with PolicyPak Cloud. Okay, hope this video helps you out. Looking forward to getting started with PolicyPak real soon. Take care.